Folks, grab your barbed wire, grab your glass, and grab all that other shit we love in the ring. It is me, Soul, host of the Soul Sessions, and with me today, a return, folks, of Season 3 return. Andy, my boy, putting on his first show, Bleeding Guns Wrestling, the Independent Referendum, a whole crazy shabam there in the dissection room. Mate, you're back for more. Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Yeah, it's been a mental. It feels weird because it's like in my head, it feels like that show was like a year ago. Like it feels like, and I've only just come back from RISE God weekend, and I've not barely been to any other wrestling shows since mine, and it genuinely feels like it was like fucking like a year, 2 years ago, but it's like 3 months ago.
Yeah, mate, with how many fucking beers we were slamming out that whole night. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into the story of that night as well. But obviously, and before all that, indeed, you appeared last October on this show, and so many great things have happened, obviously for yourself and Bleeding Gums. But in general, from October to now, how do you feel you've evolved, as a wrestling promoter?
I mean, it's been shitting myself, but I think the second show, I think everything's nerve-wracking and everything's scary. But I think that fear's a good thing. But I think since then, people like yourself, people like Rafe, the guy like I did commentary with, like everybody's like, and especially somebody like fucking Iceman, who have said such nice things about me and such nice things about the show and everything. It's kind of like any like criticisms I've got in my head, I'm like, these people like have said it's good. So it's taken a little bit of pressure off me, but I think the tournament's gonna blow the fucking first show out the water, to be honest. But that's the plan anyway.
Well, I mean, hopefully, I'm sure it's going to be an absolute amazing thing in itself, and no dissection room staff are going to be shitting themselves every second.
No, I mean, like, to be fair, like for this show, this building's never put on wrestling, so we'll see how that goes. But
we're setting a standard.
yeah, but like for me, there's a chance that like I'll probably be moving still to somewhere in Scotland, but probably like Perthy, Dundee area in like the next like 3-4 months. So this will be like my last big shebang in like my hometown of doing anything, and do a big fucking massive deathmatch tournament. Why not? You know what I mean?
Well, go big and stay home, as they say, Andy, my boy. But before all that, indeed, obviously, Bleeding Gums Wrestling, deathmatch centric, extreme wrestling. It's honestly, I feel like that element of wrestling has been exploding very recently as well. You look at stuff they did in TNT, Emerson Jane winning the DOA tournament, and that was amazing in itself. GCW have been putting on some very good stuff as well. I mean, just to see how, even from October when you last appeared, the Deathmatch Extreme Central scene, how do you feel like it's gone from October to now?
I think in the UK it's amazing. There's obviously, aside from like there's Kumite, TNT, and Rise. Rise just had Games of Death. I was there all weekend, hammered. It was a great fucking. I love Rise. Rise are one of the reasons why I wanted to get into doing deathmatch stuff in the UK. But there's also a company called CXW who are run by a guy called Paris, and they usually do family-friendly shows. They've got their first over 18 show in August. I'm going down to that, and they've got Schlack coming over from America for that. So the UK scene's pretty fucking hot at the minute, which is nice. It's nice stuff to go and see. But yeah, Emerson winning TNT was a big thing. And obviously there's loads and loads of controversy with all the people that they'd booked previously, and then the Necro Butcher left and all this other stuff. But yeah, that tournament itself, aside from like all the drama and stuff that happened before it, I thought the guys and Emerson put on a great fucking show, and Session Moth too. It's because I think a lot of people like Caden, Tomby, Emerson, they all went there with fucking something to prove, because they were all essentially, a lot of these people were like replacements, and a lot of people were annoyed. But I think that was a fairly good fucking show for TNT, that DOA show.
No, absolutely. I mean, just in general with TNT as well, they're doing some really good things as well. A former guest of the show is their current champion, and Tate Mayfair's, the whole segment with Shea Monet and Visage, a betrayal, and then Tate comes out and just nicks that gold. I mean, I was shitting it, right? Because I had a nice little beautiful celebration graphic ready for Shea, I guess the show winning. Then fucking, before I can hit post, there's a turn, another guest is winning. It's like, what the fuck, man? I've thrown graphics at left and right. My artistic ability is being shambled right now.
I know. I mean, it was good to see like Shea Monet and Emerson and stuff, and now you've got announced for TNT is Aspen and Caleb. They're both going down for the next show, which is, I mean, Aspen's already been there before, but it's good to see another guy like Caleb Valhalla going down south, which is always nice. But that's the thing, is I want the sort of community of the UK scene to work together. And obviously that's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's nice when people can, like, you know, me and the guy that runs Kumite, or one of the two guys that run Kumite, he was at Rise all weekend as well. So supporting each other, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even with our Scottish scene, you know, you look at places like PWR, Community Pro, Attitude, ICW, and Pro 2, now Bleeding Gums as well. You know, I think we talked about this last time about building that network of connections, of just letting other companies, you know, have fun. I mean, I think that's especially with the Scottish scene as well. You could go to one show and see another person on another. There's no exclusivities. There's nothing that's locking people to certain companies and stuff like that. I mean, it's just, I think it just really shows how fun our scene is.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm trying to think the next Scottish show I'll be going to, aside from mine. I'll probably go to the ICW's Wait and Bleed.
Oh,
Deathmatch thing. I mean, I'm sure you'll probably talk about that.
oh,
I'll probably go to that because I'm a fan of death matches. But you know,
well, absolutely. I mean, with ICW, funny enough as well, you know, their world champion is now Jack Jester, who's known for that kind of thing as well. And this is sort of like it seems like a second wind victory, you know, going on with his career. You know, thoughts on Jack Jester now being an ICW world champion again?
I mean, I think that for the people that they've got there, I think he's a sensible choice to be the champion because he's such a recognizable name. I mean, not even just in wrestling, but like I don't know what sitcom he's on, but he's on some sort of sitcom and he's doing like the panto stuff and stuff for like Grado. That's basically what Grado did. And then he sort of transcended into like being into like Scottish sitcoms and things like that. So yeah, it's good for him. Good for them, and hopefully they just sell out more shows and stuff. And I'll probably go to Wait and Bleed, but I mean, I wonder where they got the idea for that.
Oh, mate, when I saw that, I was like, huh. I think we need wrestling court here. What the fuck kind of influence is going on here?
I'm only joking. I'm only joking. I don't really care. But like, I think that it's flattering in a way. But I do think that people probably looked at our first show and thought, if this doesn't work, then fuck it, we won't be doing that. But if that worked, and it was quite a successful show, I didn't lose my arse anyway. But like, I think people are like, oh yeah, it can actually work here, and so other people are wanting to, like, you know, give it a go and stuff like that. But ICW have already done death matches for years. They just call them different things, but it's fine.
Yeah, their own little little swirl and twin on it, making it unique. Of course, let's get into the debut show at the Dissection Room. I remember that day very well. I woke up, had some other interviews to do. Then I turned up and it seemed all nice and easy. I can imagine on your end it was a bit more stressful and thinking, oh, fuck me, here we go. So I want to take us through that day when you first got there to the Dissection Room and knowing you're building this thing now.
So, like, obviously I'd been in the building previously to just, like, check out and stuff like that. But the amount of people that were, like, staff from the Dissection Room and stuff, because you never know. Like, we're carrying in fucking hundreds of boxes of light tubes and fucking sheets of glass and carpet strips and barbed wire and all that shit. And they never actually said anything. But yeah, for going there at the start, I think we got there at 12. I think, when did we leave? Because you were there till the end with us as well, helping clear. Like
near
midnight,
enough midnight.
1 in the morning?
Midnight.
Yeah, midnight. So like we were there for like 12 hours straight. But yeah, easily the most stressful day of my entire life by a mile, but did it in the end. You probably see me pacing around constantly on the balcony, but it was worth it, I think. So look forward to doing it again. Hopefully it gets less stressful the more I do it. But no, it was an interesting day, and everything went more or less according to plan. I think we were on time. Pardon me, I had like a chest infection last week, and it was my anniversary. Then I went to Rise, and I'm still like a grey skeleton of a person. But no, I think the show ran on time. No one got hurt aside from Darko got a nasty cut in his eye. But yeah, everything seemed to run according to plan, I think.
But I mean, it definitely did as well, because you know all the matches as well. I mean, I was there back watching and just thinking, "Fuck me, this is something as well." For first deathmatch experience in person, it's truly something that you can't really describe.
Was that your first time seeing it live?
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah,
so yeah, an honor.
Oh no, I mean I appreciate that, but the thing is I always say to anybody that's not like keen on death matches or isn't really like a fan of like hardcore wrestling, go and see it live. Because when you go and see it live, it's so much better than just sitting watching it, like sitting watching it on like a laptop or watching on the TV. Seeing a death match live in person will convert people. I'd say.
Oh, hey, you got me by hook and sinker, so I'm ready for more indeed. But obviously, as well, I could tell the crowd were loving it. The crowd were eating up as well. I mean, I can't imagine the pride you felt when you know that what you built, what you created, was connecting with a live audience.
It was pretty. It was good. They were chanting like BGW and stuff, and I was like, this is a bit fucking surreal. I felt like I'd like what's it like imposter syndrome? You know what I mean? But no, it was good. But there was a lot of people there who weren't even wrestling fans who were just like some of my mates that came up to support me and stuff. They'd never seen death matches live, and but yeah, the crowd was pretty big, and pretty decent, and yeah, everybody seemed to enjoy themselves and that, and nobody got hurt, so it was all right. That's
No,
always the worry with having people so close to all the glass and all the violence and stuff, and everybody's had a few beers that, but everybody was fine.
no, a few beers, mate. By the way you were coming, you were up on the balcony coming down, and you're like, beer, beer, beer. And I was like,
Yeah, I was.
I'll get you.
I think, but to be fair, like for me, and I enjoy a drink, as anybody who was at RISE Games of Death weekend could say that as well. But like, I didn't start drinking until maybe Lou Nixon and Dean Ford, which I think was fifth. So, and that was from like 12. So, like, I would have a long, by that point, I was like, right, fuck it. Right. I'm just going to, I said to myself, I wasn't going to drink, but I did because I don't know. I felt as if I needed to by that point.
Yeah, that was a fucking dangerous beer run. I'm just running through with 2 pints and like, excuse me, like to, excuse me, just
Yeah.
passing through, just
Well,
having
but
with
you
the.
were fucking class as well, man, because you did some of the backstage interviews. Well, all our backstage interviews for the show. And they're all on the DVD that you can get on deathmatchoutlaws.com or .co.uk. I think it's .com, but it's good.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for the kind words, obviously. But I mean, got to talk about that because I was like, oh, it's on DVD. Like, that's insane. Like, how did that all come about?
Danny Douglas, the guy who runs Deathmatch Outlaws, shout to Danny Douglas. If it wasn't for like them, like they're the weapons master people from Rise, and they help out with everything at Kumite, with my shows and everything. Danny Douglas and his dad, and Doogie, and James and Lee. But basically, they love physical media. Well, Danny does, and so does Michael Caden. They love physical media, and they were like, "We're going to make a DVD and just keep it for ourselves." But it's like, "Do you want us to make some for you?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, even if only one person bought one, I'd say it's worth it. I mean, it's not as if it's the most cost effective. Like, I mean, like cheap thing to do, but like, I wasn't going to order like 100 of them because you never know, like, if they're just going to sit like in a box. But like, I think I sold like maybe what, like 5, 6, or 7 or something so far. But it's just like it's a little thing. It's a little commemorative thing, and I'll have them at the tournament for sale.
Oh,
And then
nice.
we're gonna every single show we do, we're gonna have it'll come out on DVD, and hopefully this time for the tournament, we're gonna have the tournament out like the next week because I left it for so long and started a new job and had no time and everything for getting the show out on IWTV and stuff. But yeah, the next one will hopefully get out like within a week. But I've kind of fucked myself already. But I don't know why I've done this. But my commentary partner lives in Australia, and my other commentary partner, so there's going to be 3 of us. Rafe, who runs Faces and Feels and helps out, does commentary for Dude Where's My Ring. And now John Bullard, who works for Chaos Championship Wrestling and works for RPW, he's in America. So we're going to have a UK guy, an American guy, and an Australian guy watching a Scottish show and try and do it 3 ways. And so it's going to be, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I don't think that's ever happened before, like in wrestling history. I don't think. Get
That's
all
it. Bloody gum saying history. I mean, it sounds like at the start of a bad joke. A Scotsman, American, and an Australian walking
Yeah,
into a bar.
no, but it's like I don't know why I've decided to do it like that, but it's just they're both people who are actually commentators for like other different companies. So
Mhm.
they've got their experience and everything. And then obviously I don't want to be the sort of person I don't want to be fucking going in the ring and I don't want to be doing stuff like that. I'm quite happy to sit in commentary and put things over from the comfort of my own home and leave the in-ring stuff to the actual fucking trained professionals. You know what I mean? But yeah, but that's going to be interesting for the tournament. Have all three of us doing it. I don't even know what time we're going to do it with all the time zone issues, but be all right.
Daylight saving's going to be your enemy, my friend. Good God.
You know, you see the bags of guys already.
Oh, well, heavy weekend of drinking will do that to you, especially our Scottish mentality. But obviously, you can get obviously the Lincoln shows on DVD, but you can watch them online with the Independent Wrestling TV as well. You know, IWTV. Oh, it's got an app and everything. And you know, I was hassling you like, when the fuck's it going live? I want to see my shit in person. Because I was like, did my audio capture? That was like my fucking problem. I was like, did my fucking audio capture?
The worst thing that was, and I don't ask me how this happened, right? I've got like an old PC that I use to edit stuff on, so I use Final Cut Pro. And I put the show up. The show's not anything long. It's what, like 2.5 hours?
Yeah, simple.
Something like that. And it was like 990 like gigabytes of like data. And I was like, how the fuck is that humanly possible? And then like a normal show that's that length is about maybe 7 gigabytes. And I was like, how the fuck is it 990? So like I had to go back and re-edit everything, do all this again. And then I think in the end it was like 27 gigabytes or something. And it's not even a long show. So that's why it took so long. Pain in the arse. So I need to get myself a new fucking editing PC, to be honest.
Not something like a MacBook or something, right? Some high power shit.
Well, I mean, I've got a MacBook here, but it's one of these shitty things where it's like, this MacBook's now so old, I need to get another MacBook to get the new Final Cut Pro. But, you know, you can't win. You can't win.
Apple, the bastards. They'll
Exactly.
fucking get you. They'll get you somehow or another. But obviously, finishing off with the Ultraviolent Referendum in itself, you know, 2 points I want to make as well. You know, I want to know from yourself, you know, obviously, they were all great matches. I don't think there was any matches that the crowd, you know, didn't like or wasn't engaged with. But I want to know, what was your favorite match that was put on the show?
Alton Thorne against Jack Harrow by a country mile. Be that or the main event. But everything, I think everything was good. But then again, I think almost every single person there has a lot of experience. I mean, some of the guys in the scramble have only got like a couple of years experience, but they were still good. But yeah, Alton Thorne and Jack Harrow was my favorite match of the night, and that's the match that everybody else has said to me since then. That was probably the match of the night. The main event was fucking insane as well, but that's 4 people as opposed to 2 people, and it's just you can't even keep your eyes on it. But yeah, I would say those 2 matches. But Iceman and Clint, Lou and Dean, fucking the other 4-way with Jack fucking Bennett went off the balcony and shit. Like there wasn't, yeah, like you're saying, there wasn't a bad match, and I'm a very critical, cynical arsehole. So like I was fairly impressed with it, but I couldn't enjoy it until I went and sat and did commentary. I couldn't enjoy watching it live. That's for sure. I couldn't enjoy any of it live.
Oh, hey, fair play indeed. I remember when I saw that moment in that match, especially with the fucking cactus and plant pots on the fucking chairs as well. I was like, oh, you cunt, that's going to be a nasty one to wake up in the morning. And
Alton Thorne would message me like days and weeks later, send me a video clip of his like missus still pulling fucking cacti fucking strands out of his back. So yeah, it was pretty bad. But like I nursed those cactuses on my windowsill for a month before they got used. And I know some people took some of them home and stuff as little mementos. That's quite nice. But yeah, I would say that those that was probably the match that had like the most sort of like storyline build and like hatred against each other and stuff. And I think that's what people wanted. But yeah, I'd say that match definitely.
No, absolute banger indeed as well. And also, you know, there was a lot of memento, shall we say, after the show, because I fucking shoveled half that shit up. It was put in the back of the van.
I'm not going to say where all that went. I'm not going to say where all that went. I don't know if it's statute of limitation, but it certainly didn't go to the dump. That's for sure. But yeah, that was. We'll have even more tarps this time to make it even easier. But yeah, that's the amount of shit and the amount of glass and just pots and everything is. You don't have to deal with that at a family show. They just take the ring away and that's it. But no, it was worth it. It was worth it.
Well, I'll make sure to bring my shovel for the deathmatch tournament and fucking make sure to shovel that shit properly. But obviously as well, you know, you won actually an award as well. You know, obviously with the Scottish Wrestling Network, you won Show of the Month as well. You know, getting 25% of the votes, beating Community Pro and Discovery's Friday night at the party in Porty as well. That's kind of was that insane to you? Right? You like know people wanted you to win.
I think it's funny because like a lot of my friends are all in the deathmatch community, and they probably saw it and just all voted for me. They're probably like they've probably not even seen the other shows or even live in Scotland, because a lot of my mates are English, who are deathmatch fans anyway. So, but no, it was nice to see, because Scottish Wrestling Network are great. Billy's great. So yeah, it was that was nice, and I thought, yeah, I was quite proud of myself for that.
Well,
But who knows?
hey, win the achievement with pride, and you know have it showcased at the bottom of the DVD cover or something like that, and you know have like all the advertising 5 stars.
I know exactly, but I mean, I was happy that like people went out their way to like vote for me. But yeah, I mean, it was really nice getting show of the month in Scotland of all things. But yeah, like little things like that to me are still fucking bizarre. Like, how the fuck's this happening? This shouldn't be happening. Why are
Mate,
people? Me
it's
for
all
the
going for you. It's all going in the right direction because you've also got an international partnership as well, Chaotic Combat Wrestling as well.
Yeah. That's so. Me and John Bullard, the guy who runs them, I think they were previously called Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. He stays in, I believe, it was Chicago. I think he might stay in Michigan now. But anyway, there's a deathmatch company called Ruthless Pro Wrestling. They run in Detroit. They do a lot of stuff like ICW and Olds Bar and things like that. He's a commentator for them. I've been friends with him for like maybe a couple of years now, and he just reached out to me and we're going to do an international partnership. I don't know when this is going to start, mind you, but we just got it announced. But it's basically he's got his deathmatch guys and his wrestlers, and we basically, instead of one person shipping the bill for getting all these people over, 2 of us can do it and we can work together, and it gets people that I like and that John likes to go over and come to these. I don't know why any of them would want to come to the UK, but like it's good for but like at Rise this weekend, like there was with Japanese legends, we had American people and everything. So yeah, the UK is like pretty hot. Even if it's like WWE or fucking AEW. So like people want to come to the UK for some fucking unbeknown reason to me. But yeah, that's the idea, is 2 of us working together just to get as much as we can out of the partnership, really.
No, absolutely. And, you know, I would love to know, you know, have you got some names you would love to have shipped over and some you like to send away to Voyages Unknown?
For me, as it might be obvious, like from my last answer for the Ultraviolence Referendum, 2 of my favourite guys, behind the scenes and in the ring, Jack Harrop and Alton Thorne. And also somebody who I think is one of the most underrated fucking deathmatch wrestlers in the UK is Michael Caden. And I think that Caden's one of these people who's been doing it for as long as like Big Joe, and you know, he's been doing it as long as Darko and Lou Nixon and stuff in the Deathmatch Outlaws, and they've all been over to America and things like that. And he's not. He had the chance when he was got. They were going to do King of the Death matches, but then IWA Mid South shut down, and the tournament never went ahead. So I'd say those 3, but there's a lot of people that would want to work for Bleeding Gums that would be great over in America. But it's just, I think, given people that haven't had the opportunity to do it, giving them the push and putting the confidence in them, because a lot of people's like dreams is to go to the States or go to Japan. So, and Big Joe's fucking going over to Japan, so I couldn't believe that. That'll be next thing. Big Joe's basically done everything at this point. But yeah, Caden, Jack, and Alton Thorne would probably be the top 3 on my list, to be honest.
Well, let's definitely get them a good, at least business class Ryanair ticket so we can at least get them reasonably comfortable. I mean, hey, we'll get them there to the destination at some point in time. Now, of course, we have to talk about what's coming next. You know, the tournament, Lust for Death for the Bleeding Gums Wrestling UK Deathmatch Championship. Before, though, we get into that, something that kind of shocked me as well. You know, I've had some people who were on that show. I've had, you know, Alton Thorne, Radu Bulat, and Iceman, which recently, at the time of recording, came out yesterday, which I was then shocked to find out he's then also retired.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've got my T-shirt on to say, you know, long live the fucking Iceman, basically. Yeah, he retired. He wrestled his last match at Rise against Abdullah Kobayashi, and then he was done. He's finished. He's retired. And I had a chat with him the day after on the Saturday, and I completely get it. He doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. He is the reason there is deathmatch wrestling in the UK and Europe. He's done everything. He's been wrestling 24 fucking years. He doesn't have to do any more. So as much as it is annoying for him to not be in the tournament, I completely support anything Iceman wants to do because Iceman's fucking class. But yeah, so yeah, Iceman retired, but a sad day for UK Deathmatch Wrestling, but that man doesn't have to prove anything to anybody.
No, absolutely not. I mean, his appearance on this show as well was a very enjoyable one as well. I mean, I hope you watch it, and if you hadn't watched it, I'll be very, very upset. Obviously, you mentioned obviously how much he took pride with you, you know, with how you treated him and the respect and everything. To know that Iceman, obviously, a deathmatch legend, not even just a deathmatch legend, a UK wrestling legend as well in himself, to say those kind words about you, about the hospitality, about the way you ran Bleeding Gums Wrestling's first show as well. Is that like the echelon of achievement for you?
That means more than people paying money or anything. That means him saying that means the fucking world to me, because he is the Iceman. He's been around everywhere, and for him to be so nice and speak so highly of me, I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's when I know that I've done something right. You know what I mean? That it's not just been doing this like running a company and doing a deathmatch show and whatever. It's not been a complete waste of time because the Iceman said stuff like that. So yeah, 100% meant the world to me that he said all that.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I'm from me, myself, you know, and everything here at the Soul Sessions, Iceman, I wish you the best in your retirement, my friend. Cold as ice, but you were still an amazing man, warming everything in the ring. So thank you for what you've done for the UK wrestling scene as well, my friend. If you're watching, thank you.
Perfect.
Now,
I will definitely tag him when this comes out. I will definitely tag the Iceman and everything. So yeah. One of the nicest and most well respected people in deathmatch wrestling and in UK wrestling. But yeah,
absolutely. Here to the Iceman.
Hell yeah. And I'm gonna grab another beer.
Good night. I might as well. Let's do it. I'll actually, you know what, viewers, I'm gonna pause. When we're back, we'll be pished.
Perfect.
And viewers, we're back with more of the amazing elixir of life. Now, obviously, Lust for Death as well. Tournament coming up as well. Actually, you know what? Before I get into the matches, I know the venue changed as well, if I'm correct.
So basically, it was going to be at the Windsor, which is an okay pub in Kirkcaldy. It's got a function room through the back. But with the interest that we had from people and people traveling and stuff, I don't think we'd be able to fit that many people in that building. So it's moving basically. It's all, no joke, about a 5-minute walk along the road. And it's right beside the train station. It's even nearer to the train station, to the Beveridge Park Hotel, which gives us a lot more space. And it's got a full bar. And it's got a much, pardon me, still dying. It's got a much, much bigger green room, dressing room for the boys as well. It's just better all round, to be honest, just for the size and stuff. Because it would be an absolute fucking disaster for the amount of people that have got tickets for there to be so much glass and stuff in there. So we just moved it along the road, just for space. That's it, really.
No, fair dues and well. You know, was there a point when you felt like you needed to do the change, or was it just seeing like how many people were sharing or tagging, or like how the tickets were going?
I just thought that when I went and viewed the place, I thought like this will be okay, but the ceiling's quite low. And then I did have another gander inside the new venue, and I just thought this would be so much better. And I hadn't paid any deposits or anything for the first one, so yeah, I was just like, it was a no-brainer, and they were like, yeah, sure, you can come and do what you want. I was like, okay, if you say so.
You're gonna fucking regret that.
I know, but like, I don't think the will be. I think this will be the big shebang for it being my sort of like first and maybe last Kirkcaldy show, because we will be moving. I'd love to go back to Edinburgh at some point and do something else in Edinburgh. But with the third show announced will be in Perth, which is handy as well. And that'll be a big outdoor show. So it's all just really dependent on where I move to, really, to where the base of the company will be, because it's all just basically run from my house.
Well, it's definitely not going to be Edinburgh with how fucking high the prices are here. So that's off the fucking table there. But obviously, as well, it is a tournament as well, and obviously there's a prize. You know, the Bleeding Gums Wrestling UK Deathmatch Championship, and as well, I remember when you were on last time, you mentioned you were more thinking of a trophy or something like that, something like a kind of triple crown. What was it that maybe shifted your mind for that?
Basically, John Bullard put me in contact with the guy that's making his belts, and I got a design from him. I've got the belt here. I think by this point, whenever this is out, I'll have already put the belt up, so I can get this. I can just grab the belt.
You can grab the belt, folks.
So we've got the belt. I don't know how good that looks on camera, but I'll try and get the plates and the things, and another side, Pro Blood, Pro Glass, Pro Wrestling. But yeah. But like, so he designed. I'll send the thing when we put this video up for the person who did it. But anyway, see if I can stick that in the side of my chair. There we go. But so he did the design, and I loved it. And then I got it made through Mania Belts, and I'm not joking. That took 3 days to get here from India, which is pretty fucking impressive. But yeah, I'm very, very, very happy with this, because I was also shitting myself, because obviously like the tournament's in the next month, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to panic buy a trophy or have something like a runner-up thing, but if I don't get the belt in time. But no, but the belts, it's pretty nice, I'd say, and everybody seems to be quite impressed with it that I've shown to it. So yeah, the championship. My little baby, and I've been wearing it around the house and stuff, because you have to.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm just thinking, what can I ditch off this shelf to have a spot for it? I'm thinking.
I mean, I don't know. I think we'll probably make little pins, maybe little pins. But Ben, who I don't know, you would have seen. I don't know if you spoke to Ben. Ben is the guy who's Riot Zoo, who made the little Neil Diamond Cutter figures. Did you see the Ultraviolent Referendum? I don't know if you would have caught them.
I was also quite pissed.
That's true, but so he basically, his full-time job is he makes like little mini figures. I'll try and grab one just now.
The belt's unattended, folks. Maybe I could sneak over and yank it.
So like, this is like a little mini Neil Diamond Cutter. It was a little staple gun, and he hand paints them and everything. But his like full-time job is making like little replica belts and heads for wrestling figures. So he's going to do us little mini figure-sized belts of these. So I think we'll do that. I don't know how expensive fucking replicas would be to make. I don't know who would buy them. But no, yeah. But the belt, I'm fairly proud of it, to be honest.
Mate, honestly, I really do like it. I mean, my one thing is though, can the skull spin? Just make it a spinner for shits and giggles. I mean, I always spinners are fun to me. They annoy people, and I love it.
I know, but I'm happy. I'm happy with it. So this is what the winner of Lust for Death gets, is this beautiful belt. But yeah, I was shitting myself when I ordered it. I was like, it's not going to look good. It's going to look shit. But that's just me being cynical. And I was like, it's going to look terrible. It's not going to look good. And then when it arrived, I was like, oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, very, very happy with that.
Honestly, mate, it is very impressive. It beats all those little shit knockoff belts you see on eBay roaming around. They're like, yeah, this is a real WWE.
I'm not like yourself. Like, you've got belts that you're like a belt collector. Like, I've never really been like that into like collecting belts, but I do love belts, and I think they're a very, very important aspect of wrestling. So yeah, so having something like this is very. I'm going to be quite sad when whoever wins the tournament takes it away, but that's
you're not going to pull a Jeff Jarrett now, are you? And crown yourself?
Oh no, absolutely not. Whoever wins the tournament, that's theirs. So yeah, but yeah, I was very, very happy with it. Overly happy.
Guess I better get into shape then. Fuck it, that thing's coming home with me. Maybe break a rib or two.
I know. I mean, we didn't have any injuries at the first show, but I think that I'm trying to think what we were going to talk about for Lust for Death. I think that it's obviously a fucking deathmatch tournament, but like we do have one non-tournament match, which I think's got a lot of like really, really good fucking talent with the British top team, because we were going to have Leonardo Darwin at the Ultraviolence Referendum, but he didn't want to wrestle anybody who was Scottish. So we've got him, Lou Nixon, and Brett Semtex against Ewan G. Mackey, Taylor Bryden, who you'll probably be more familiar with than most people who have spoke to, and Johnny Storm. So yeah, so that's the non-tournament match for the tournament, but should be pretty good.
Oh, absolutely, as well. I mean, as well, I love that the whole first round as well. Obviously, a lot of great names in it. Big Joe looking sharp, Drag Bennett, Michael Caden, Clint Manjera, Neil Diamond Carter coming back as well, Danny Darko as well. But like each of the first rounds seem to be like have a theme to them. Like looking sharp and big fucking Joe is up and smoke death match, soft death match for the freeway with Caden Bennett and Margera. A cabin in the tubes match. What the fuck is that with Darko and Cutter? Given all these first rounds, different unique aspects to them, I feel like that's a really smart move. Was that something always in the plan?
I've always liked stipulations. Always want to give them stupid names, but all these names are basically puns. Or the only one that's not a pun is the Saw Death Match, which is a tribute to a match that happened in 2007 between Drake Younger and Thumbtack Jack. But it's a reference to the movie Saw, and all the other names in it are, I think, movie references. Up in Smoke is essentially a 420 death match. So we'll have that. Cabin in the Tubes is just light tube log cabins. So you take them all together in little log cabins and stuff. And I'm trying to think what else we'd have. But yeah, it was just, I like to give them individual creative names, because I feel like a lot of the times the matches are just, I even felt myself there was too many tubes at the first show. I think we could have saved them for less is more. But I think it's better to have them all have creative, different names. The one with Jack Harab, Tomby, and Tim Strange is Thumbtacks and Cinder Blocks. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be Tim Strange's first death match as well. So yeah, they're just all little sort of puns on movies or whatever. But that's just to make it a little bit more interesting.
Well, hey, definitely, it's definitely got people's attention, and that's why I love to see it as well. But obviously, something I want to talk about as well is the whole branding for this as well. Lust for Death tournament, the orange and everything. Train spotting, very aesthetic to it as well. And also that's very Scottish as well. I want to know, maybe for future shows as well, what other maybe Scottish movies would you like to take a theme from for presenting your shows?
I hate Train spotting.
I
don't. I mean, it's not a terrible movie, but I think it's like one of these things where, if you're Scottish, you've seen Braveheart and you've seen Train spotting like more times than you've seen like had hot meals. You know what I mean? And it's like, you just get a bit tired of them slightly. But like, I just think that the branding works. People sort of think, oh, Train spotting and stuff like that. But the intention was originally to do it in Edinburgh, but then we got offered to do the first building before we changed it over. But yeah, I think in future for it, I'm trying to think what we've got coming up. I just want the names to at least be puns or be kind of funny. But I'm trying to think what for the third show. I've got the name for the third show, but we've not announced it yet.
Yes, yeah. Like, I remember, Andy, because I was up at 1 a.m. with drunk as shit trying to make you fucking names for it.
The third show, the name will be very, very apparent for what one of the matches is on the show, so I can't spoil it until after the tournament, unfortunately. But but no, like I want to, like, there's a quote my dad used to say all the time. My cat's just climbing on the table. You've got a long way to climb before you reach the gutter. And I think that's a great name for a show. I think that's like quite a funny name for a show. And my cat's sitting there drinking, like just behind my laptop, drinking my tea at a mug.
Yep, folks, you can see with the Soul Sessions, animals interrupting interviews is a continuing theme.
It's not genuinely. It's like drinking tea that's sat like behind the thing.
Is it holding its pinky up or something like that as well?
I don't know why it's drinking my tea. Anyway, carry on.
Goddamn cats, man. Goddamn cats. But yeah, obviously, I think like this Love for Death tournament, I'm going to be there as well. Doing backstage interviews, hopefully not being too pitched as last time, probably even a bit more, honestly. I'm no doubting myself for that. But I also think, it's just great to see just Bleeding Gums continuing as well. And I mentioned like all the connections and people. Like there was a fan that also flew over from America for your first show as well.
Yeah. Pretty mental, eh?
It's mental you got that reach, brother. I'm like, holy
I mean, I've been involved in deathmatch community message boards and shit like that for like fucking, I don't even know how long now, 20 odd years maybe. So yeah, like I know a lot of people for it, but yeah, it is good. But like I did think that in my head, I was like, I'll just do one, but then I feel like you can't stop. It's addictive. doing that. Maybe for good or for bad, it is a very addictive thing.
Absolutely, indeed, as well. I mean, something that will be great as well. Obviously, people will go to the shows and get to see the rest as well, but also to buy some stuff as well. We mentioned obviously you'll have DVDs from the first show, and then the second show ones will be out a wee bit later. Hopefully, we can see other stuff as well. We mentioned that you would maybe like to do pins of the title as well. Is there maybe any other types of merch you maybe love to do down the line? Maybe
shot glasses, also ashtrays, grinders. Because I know myself. Not saying everybody is like this, but 99% of the people that you see at deathmatch shows are stoners or drunkards. And I do think that like having branded pint glasses or ashtrays or even just simple like little plastic rolling trays, things like that, things that support the sort of the lifestyle that a lot of these people lead. I'd love to do a pint glass, even if I just made one for myself. I'd love to do a pint glass, but it's just to try and look into like how expensive they are. Like we did beanie hats, and beanie hats like I sold them all, but very expensive to like produce them to the point that it's not even worth it.
Yeah, you got to balance it. You got to balance it with what things that you will love to have, but then you got to think about profits, and that's all business side, yada yada yada.
Exactly.
That's for not when we're drinking and having fun right now as well. But obviously as well, and obviously this tournament to crown the Deathmatch Championship as well. But I want to know, is there plans for maybe other championships within Bleeding Gums in the future, maybe a year or two down the line, maybe a tags or trios, or maybe even have a digital media championship just to be really funny with the crowd?
I don't think I'd have a digital media championship. The plan is at the minute we'll have this, because that's obviously the focus of the company is ultraviolence. But I do think we will have something in the future along the lines of like a Scottish championship, which will be for the wrestlers who don't necessarily want to do or don't need to do the deathmatch stuff. That'd be the plan. Is I'd love to have tag team titles as well, but I think at this point it'll be this, and then there'll probably be like a singles Scottish championship. But I think at that point, then later on, if it continues on, to maybe get tag team titles. But I don't want to. I don't want to have 1,800 championship belts, because I do think that some, especially AEW, and I do think some independent companies as well, have too many titles. Too many, like so many that they don't even have any prestige. That like winning them doesn't mean anything because everybody's got a belt. But I think that this, another one, and then possibly a tag, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so 3 titles you feel like is the way to go. No more, no less.
Yeah, but I mean, a women's championship as well down the line, because I think we're going to possibly, like from the third show, maybe have some women's matches too. But it's just have a bit of variety. But like I do think that Lust for Death will be like a big show. But I think that the relationship we have with the Ice Factory in Perth will be very good, and I think we'll be back there a couple of times. But that we just have to worry about that show as if it fucking rains because it's outside. But it'll be in July, so
we're fucked.
We're fucked, yeah, basically. But the ring does have a big tarp over it, so it's not
good,
too bad.
good.
But I mean, Scotland does get hot occasionally.
What, like every fucking 2 years? Once every 2 years?
I know. But that's the thing is trying to look for. Got the Ice Factory, they're on board with everything. However, with the size of what we want to do, and for the people that will probably come to the shows, we can only use their outdoor area, which is handy because like for all the glass and cleaning up and stuff, it makes it a bit easier because it's outside. But I'm looking for like another venue for somewhere that's an indoor one for obviously it's Scotland, it's fucking freezing and raining and windy all the time. You can't really use an outdoor show in November, for example. So that's the next thing on my list of things to do, is try and find another venue close by that I'll be able to do stuff in.
Get the flyers out, so like, hey, we'll clean up as well afterwards. Don't worry. No need to hire a cleaning crew. We're all participating within the maintenance of this building. No brick will be left unturned.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I do want to know as well, Andy, something that's a pet peeve of mine is what WWE does. Is all their belts looking the same, but with different fucking straps. I hate that shit. Make it look unique and different. So if there's a women's championship in Bleeding Edge Wrestling, you're not just going to put a white strap on that thing, right?
No, I would make everything look unique and different, like WWE's old belts used to look, like European and the IC title and things like that. No, I don't want to put different colored straps. I don't know. I think black's the only way to go, really, for straps and things like that. But I mean, maybe a dark blue strap for a Scottish belt. I don't know.
That would work. That would work. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for this women's championship, when it does come about, are there any kind of women's championship belts you look to for inspiration?
Rise's current women's championship belt, they just got redone, quite nice. And I'm trying to think, do I like the AEW one? Looks a bit shit. I hate the WWE women's title. That's a good question, to be honest. The Rise's one's pretty good. TNT's one's all right. But it's always find that really, really strange that like independent companies have better belts and better merch than like the biggest company in the world. I always find bizarre. But I don't know. I don't know. I would want to try and put my own spin on doing belts. Like, I love tag team wrestling, but I'd want to do my own sort of thing for that too. But no, I wouldn't just put different straps in them and make them all the same, because like takes away from the fun of having a belt.
Yeah, thanks fuck. I mean, you don't want to see someone going around with a Hubba Bubba strap on a belt and it's like, yeah, that's your tag belts. We'll fucking I hate that. I fucking hate that shit. God damn it. You know what? Speaking of AEW as well, All In 2 is coming back this year as well. You will be attending, I'm pretty sure, right? No?
Me and my mates all had a little discussion. The three of us that go to these stupid wrestling shows. And we were like, right, Germany or London. Germany wins every time. So we'll be going to the whatever fucking W. I don't even give a fuck about what show it is or the wrestling. I just think that Germany's a better trip than London would be. So we were going to the WWE show, which is the same month, I think.
Bash at Berlin, yes.
Is that what it is? Is it Backlash? No, is it Bash at
Berlin? So it's called WWE Bash in Berlin.
That's a terrible name.
They're not. See, you can't make their belts and they make shitty fucking pay-per-view names.
I know, but I thought they would do like what they did with like they had Money in the Bank in London, they have Elimination Chamber in Australia. I thought they'd maybe have, I don't know, No Mercy or something in Germany or something. So it's called Bash in Berlin. That's really bad. But yeah, I'll be going to that.
Fair play indeed, and I know Germany has some good wrestling as well. I'm only familiar with one company, which is Unlimited Wrestling, if I'm pretty sure. But the scene in Germany as well, are you familiar with it? Do you know?
There's a company called WXW who used to do death matches all the time. They recently did a thing with GCW where they had Rina Yamashita and Lou Nixon were over, but they were the company that put on that Saw death match. But yeah, Germany used to have like mental shit in Germany. Like it would be Big Japan, CZW, and WXW would have like a triangle of violence where all the guys from America and Japan would go to Germany and they'd have like a 3-company way deathmatch tournament and shit. So yeah, Germany used to be like amazing, but I'm just looking forward to the beer. I don't even give a fuck about it. The only thing I think they will do, which I don't really care. The WWE now makes me angry. But if Cody gets to finish his story, have Gunther beat him in Berlin. Imagine the pop. That would be that would be. I mean, I don't really know if they have any other German wrestlers. They've got the guys from Imperium, but they have to do something with Gunther. They'd have to give him a big win. Like that's why it's like at the what's it called, the Elimination Chamber. Surely they must be doing something big with Rhea Ripley.
She's against Nia Jax.
Are you joking?
I'm not fucking joking.
See, that's quite funny. But like, she'll probably beat Nia. It'd be funny if Nia beat her. Like, but
Oh fuck me, they would be right. And
is there any other Australian wrestlers in WWE?
Bronson Reed, but he lost his qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, they don't even have the Iconics anymore.
No, they're
Well,
gone.
so, yeah, I mean, like that's the whole point. Is like if you're gonna do like a big show there, you've got the easy pop. Just put the fucking German guy over. But I mean, if Roman loses his belt at Mania,
I gotta know your thoughts on that and this whole Cody Crybabies, Rock
I
coming back.
don't like Cody Rhodes. I don't have anything against him personally, but like, I just when he was in AEW, and there'd be one heel in the ring, and he would come down with fireworks and a cape and an entourage of like 19 people, and I'm like, you're a heel. You should be a heel. Why are you a babyface? But it was interesting with The Rock coming back and stuff. But like, I'll watch WrestleMania because I watch it every year, but I'm not that fussed. I'm glad that Bailey won the Rumble. That was good.
Oh
And
yeah, absolutely.
hopefully she wins the women's title at Mania. But aside from that, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Hopefully Roman keeps the belt and then throws it in the bin, and then that'd be funny. But
What did he then pull out the Bleeding of Wrestling Championship? Like,
yeah,
see, this is a title. And it's like, oh shit.
I'd have Roman Reigns. I'd have Roman Reigns do stuff. But no, I mean, it's with the Rock and stuff coming back, it's obviously got them a lot of interest, if anything. But I hate the Rock these days just because all the movies that he's in are shit.
Yeah, they are pretty sure. Like I saw this meme once. It was a picture of him in Rampage, Jumanji, and some shitty film called Skyscraper. And it was like, which one is which? And he's wearing the same fucking vest and top and camo shorts.
Really bad. They're all really bad. But like, I think of those him, Cena, and Batista. I think Batista's in better movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Not necessarily a better actor, but he's in movies that are like not like crap comedy Ryan Reynolds esque stuff. But yeah, but I mean, I'll still watch Mania. But yeah, I won't be going all in. Thank fuck, because the seats we had last time were kind of shit, and I didn't really see much of the show. But I'll assume you'll be going to all in too.
Oh yeah, I was fucking 6 a.m. up, ready, Ticketmaster open, fucking
But
in the
you're
queue.
probably an AEW fan, though. I don't really watch it.
Gee, what gave that away?
Oh,
The
yeah, I
fucking
know, but, like I've got death matches, and that's all I watch, really. But AEW to me, like, I'm all right. Like, I watched some fucking show. What was it? It was on, I don't know how recent it was, but it was on in like a random hotel room. It was on ITV. I think it was Rampage, and it was John Moxley was against Lee Moriarty, and it was maybe one of the worst matches I've seen in like 6 months. Have you seen that match?
I don't watch Rampage.
I don't watch Rampage. I don't think anybody watches Rampage.
It's on at 3 a.m. I love the company, I love everything, but Rampage 3 a.m. I'm sorry, fuck that. I like sleep.
Well, yeah, true. But that's the thing is like one of my mates who loves AEW and stuff. Like he sits up and he'll watch Raw every week, and he'll watch Rampage, and he'll watch Dynamite, and I'm like, nah, I don't have time for that.
Like switch off, buddy. Fuck, we can't take it all the time.
I know. I mean, I've still got to rewatch the fucking shows that I was just at the weekend there because I can't fucking remember half them. So I've got that to deal with. But yeah, but no all in for me. All in for me.
Hey, fair dues, fair dues. I do have to get your thoughts on. Did you hear about the Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page death match? You know, having it full gear. That was fucking good.
Good. It's good to see blood and violence and barbed wire and stuff on live TV. There should be more of it. But they should have had glass. They didn't have glass. But the thing is like people forget that Shane Strickland was in CZW and shit. Like he did Cage of Death and all that crap, and he did all that Lucha Underground shit with like AR Fox and sheets of glass and tubes and everything. So yeah, I mean both those guys can really, really work. And then they're both against Joe at the pay-per-view. Are they?
Yes, they are. Both against Joe.
I won't watch Revolution. But I'm sure it'll be a great show. But it's not for me. I do like people that are in AEW, but I just don't have the time to sit and watch that much wrestling, to be honest.
We can only manage so many hours in the day of watching the things we love as well. But I mean, I think with Swerve Strickland, he is someone who is on the top right now of everything. Truly loved and everything. So I got to know, And you say you could have Mr. Swerve Strickland swerve his way into Bleeding Gums Wrestling. Is there a particular man you would like to match him up against?
Darko.
Ooh.
I think Darko's one of the most like underrated actual wrestlers who's like in fucking shape and like who can actually fucking work a match and do death matches. So yeah, I'd say Danny Darko and Swerve Strickland would have a fucking banger. Danny and Lou Nixon are over in America for Mania weekend as well, so you'll get to see them pop up a couple of places. So which is good for them. But yeah, Danny Darko would be one for that.
Ooh, that would be something indeed as well. I mean, I think we just with Bleeding Gums Wrestling, it's going to be a hell of a year for you guys as well. Lust for Death, more coming up as well. What other things can maybe fans expect for this year for Bleeding Gums?
We just want to keep putting on shows that are, I mean, they're never going to be fun for me being there live, but like, I just want to put on death matches. I want to put on matches that I would travel to see. And I just traveled down to fucking Hull and fucking high 5.5 hour fucking drive there and back. Yeah, I just want to put on matches that people will go, holy fuck. And I want to do a lot of first time ever shit because there's so many things in deathmatch wrestling that have happened in England and America that we've never had here. There's so many first time like stipulations and matches and shit that have never ever happened here. So that's what I want to do is I want to do first time shit and I want to see people bleed and I want everybody to get drunk and have a good time, to be honest. And just keep doing what we're doing and keeping to our fucking selves. Like we obviously want to do stuff with Chaotic Championship Wrestling in America, and obviously still got connections with Looking Sharp and Valor and stuff like that. But aside from that, keep to ourselves and do our own thing. We don't want to bother anybody, and we don't want anybody to bother us because there's nothing like it in Scotland, so we can just do our own shit and not have to worry. You know what I mean?
I think that's a motto to live by as well, because you can just see it, with the people that are excited for, Lust for Death, people who are at Ultraviolent Referendum, the engagement on the social medias as well. There are people who are hungry for this, and I think they're going to turn out in droves to see some blood, glass, and all that ultra-violence good shit we love.
And Kirkcaldy, which always makes me laugh. Like, I want to do stupid stuff like that. Like, it's like when I said to you before the last time I was on this, I'd love to have done a show at the Hive. That would be funny. Like, at least something that's funny and that people remember. But yeah, doing it in Kirkcaldy, doing stuff in Perth. Yeah, we just want to be the deathmatch company up here.
Not the fucking Hive. I'm sorry. Fuck the Hive, man.
It'd be funny. You would laugh. You would laugh if you saw it was on a poster for a wrestling show.
I would laugh with fucking despair and think, oh shit, the golf den with the fucking high school teenagers where they go and venture it from fucking
yeah. I mean, I reckon it would sell quite well though. I reckon
if I fucking see Neil Diamond with a fucking staple just going around in fucking Hive, and I'm like, oh, can I have 2 Jaeger bombs, please? I'd be like,
that's one thing I will say that they not really spoke about is him coming back, which was always going to happen. Neil's one of like some of my best friends in wrestling from America that like I speak to all the time and everything. But yeah, having Neil coming back over is like another big thing because he's essentially a Bleeding Gums guy at this point. And he was wearing a Bleeding Gums wrestling t-shirt when he was wrestling over in H2 in America, and I was like, this is fucking cool. So yeah, a lot of time and a lot of respect for Neil Diamond Cutter coming back over here to try and win this. So yeah.
Try they might, but he's got to beat some other men to get that title as well. And I know someone who I've on is old Rabu Bulat as well. He's worn Bleeding Gums Wrestling merch to his shows as well and matches as well. What would be like the whole shit moment for you to see a wrestler wearing a Bleeding Gums shirt?
Like Jun Kasai.
Really?
Jun Kasai. I mean, that was one of the nicer things as well, was like when I was at Rise at the weekend. Like not a large amount of people, but like there was like 3 or 4 people with like Bleeding Gums t-shirts on or Bleeding Gums hoodies and stuff, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Like there's like people have been to the show and they bought merch and stuff. So yeah, but no, Jun Kasai had shit my fucking pants. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, how did the fuck would he get one of them? But yeah, I mean, Jun Kasai would be the main one. But no, I'm pretty happy. And we do have t-shirts for Lust for Death. We do have tournament t-shirts that are on pre-sale on the website just now. But we're probably going to have to edit them ever so slightly because the Iceman's obviously retired. But they'll be more or less the same because it's quite lucky I've not actually got them printed yet. But
you could just pull a WWE and put a blue sticky note over it like they did at Punk at the Rumble.
oh god, no, I wouldn't be doing that. I didn't even know they did that. But
Or just put a picture of me. I'll do it.
But no, it's been good. It's been interesting. Lust for Death will be something different, and hopefully we just keep going and keep moving forward. And then we've got a champ. We'll have a champion by that point, and then we can go and do the big summer outdoor show in Perth. And then I believe we've got 2 more dates for the rest of 2024. I won't announce them just yet, but I think there's 2 more shows towards the winter time.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's going to be a year of blood as well. But obviously, and it's been a pleasure to have you back. I can't wait for Lust to Death to get my arse into gear and work and do all that as well. But I remember when we talked last time of looking to stars within the UK scene to get featured in a deathmatch environment. And, I remember last time Dean Ford, previous guest of the show, he did his first sort of match that was on. He killed it. And you've mentioned, maybe we've got this championship and maybe we could see more, a women's, a tags, and maybe a Scottish championship as well. So I want to know if you included the women's, the tags, and the Scottish championship, what Scottish UK wrestlers would you love to see challenge for those?
I think because obviously there's going to be, aside from the Scottish championship, I think obviously a lot of these belts would still have an element of ultraviolence in them.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we'd have people like Emerson Jane. I think she'd be one, obviously, because she's Scottish. She's fucking everywhere, doing death matches everywhere. Tag team wise, I'd love to get Glasgow Grindhouse, get Legends Never Die as well over, because they're people who are involved with looking sharp, and I think there's a high probability that they'll probably on future shows. Scottish Championship, I think Taylor Bryden, UNG Mackie, people that have there's these people that if I ever go to live shows in Scotland, I'll be there watching. I might have a couple of beers, but I'll still be there watching and seeing people who I quite like. But yeah, there's a lot of fucking Scottish talent, but we'll need to wait and see. I think towards the end of the year we'll try and do something with the other belt. Maybe a tournament, but maybe a tournament over several shows, as opposed to all being in one for the deathmatch one. But that's the plan thus far.
That's the plan. He is the man with the plan, and who knows? Maybe I'll get into somewhat shape, and I'll do a Santino Marella and just dive out the ropes and lose immediately.
Dive in and win it. Why not? Why not? There's always opportunities. That's one of the main things I want to do. Is I want to give people opportunities who deserve them, and who can prove themselves and see what people can do. Like for myself, obviously, I hate most of the time nostalgia in wrestling. Not a big fan of Hulk Hogan and things like that. I want to push the new guys, push the new people that people should see, and the people who are young and hungry and want to fucking bleed and fight. So yeah, that's the plan for the future.
Well, folks, guests of the show, previous and future, I think we have a place for you to showcase yourself and see what you're made of. Me, I'll stay on the sidelines until an opportunity arises, and I'll sneak in and take the pin.
Definitely, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, man, doing your shit, because you're very, very good at what you do. And then we'll get some sick shit done at Lust for Death in Kirkcaldy.
Hopefully I'll fucking remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll remember anything after the show, and then I'll have to rewatch it and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll be running around like a fucking stress head, but it'll be worth it. I hope.
Yeah, you'll get a message of me the day after, like, mate, I woke up underneath the Forth Road Bridge. What the fuck happened? Can I get the footage of the show, please?
At least under the Forth Road Bridge, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Oh, thank fuck! Hope it's not the railway one. That's noisy as fuck.
Well, yeah. I hate that. I have to travel over that every single day for work. It makes me physically sick. But hey ho.
Well, hey, 1820 machinery is no the finest in modern day times. It never is. Folks, thank you for tuning in for another episode of The Soul Sessions with Bleeding Gums Wrestling's return. And folks, if you want to follow and see the journey of this company and see what's coming up, I will include the link to the Instagram, but I will also include a link to their merch, where you could buy the Lust for Death t-shirt, and you can also, I will include a link for the DVDs so you can buy for Ultraviolent Referendum and Lust for Death when it comes out. Folks, please support this as well, and support me as well. I would like a little bit of charity off the side as well, but hey, who knows what will happen. Well, folks, I would say the whole YouTuber shtick, but come on, this has been around since 2005, so we'll neck this.
Lovely.
And stay tuned for more Soul Sessions, folks.
Thank you.